Well, another season of Death Battle has come to an end, and this year, Season 9 has finished off with an interesting match. Gogeta versus Vegito. I already talked about my thoughts on it in my Deku vs. Asta review, so go check that out if you want to see my thoughts on it. Also, Capsirus made a review on the DBX, so go make sure to check that video out. Me and him basically have the same thoughts on it. And on topic of that, make sure you also go check out his review on the Death Battle as well. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot to say here, because I'm not really a huge Dragon Ball guy, so that means I didn't really get a lot out of this one. That doesn't mean I think it was bad. I mean, it's a Dragon Ball finale episode animated by Daidomachi, of course it was gonna be good. It's just, I'm not sure what I want to say here. But anyways, let's just get this started. Okay, so first up, the analyses. They're okay. I like how it's more so Wiz and Boomstick talking about the matchup itself, with them explaining the differences between the two and why it's so debatable. It was an alright analysis. Definitely not one of my favorites, probably because it's basically the same character twice, or maybe it's just because I'm not interested. Who knows. It was interesting to see them go into everything, though. It was nice to see so much new Dragon Ball footage and stuff be used we haven't seen on the show before. And the ending of each, where they talk about why some people think that respective character wins, is pretty interesting. It's a nice little tidbit and pace changer. The stuff with Wiz and Boomstick takes a backseat here. It's mainly just a few times with them using the Dragon Balls, and they're pretty alright. I just find it nice when the two get along like this. Although I'm not sure if I'm disappointed or grateful that we didn't see the fusion of Wiz and Boomstick. My biggest problem with the analyses is that sometimes they just feel like they don't really know what to say. Sometimes they just drag on, like explaining Vegito's name, for example. But honestly, I'm not too bothered. I still enjoy them fairly enough. Now, the fight is the thing I was easily most excited to see. Dragon Ball fights are always bangers, and with this one being a finale episode with a bigger budget, I was super excited to see what they had in store for us. And it was good. Nothing super substantial, but it was far from bad. I think maybe because this is the finale and that we had to wait longer for the episode makes me kinda disappointed with this, but I don't know. Anyway, I really like to start with the two versions of both Goku and Vegeta being summoned. It's just a nice little thing to see, and I really like the small interaction they have. It's just something fun that happens in the animation. Then the two fuse and the fight starts. We get a pretty nice clash with the two smiling at each other, which signals some friendly competition, which is always nice. Then we get to the actual fighting, and since I'm not a huge Dragon Ball guy, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to say since I'm not knowledgeable on many references or callbacks they make, but I'll try, I guess. The beginning melee fight looks off. I don't really know why, I can't put it into words, but just something about it doesn't feel right. It looks good, but I don't know. The two turn Super Saiyan and Vegito pulls out the Spirit Sword and does some attacks with it. There are quite a few shots here that I like, such as Vegito dodging Gogeta's laser beam, the two flying around Shinron, and Gogeta making the energy ball come back to him. My favorite part about this fight is how it feels fast-paced, but also gives you just the right amount of time for you to take in something. Just something I feel the crew did a good job on. We have another pretty good interaction. I might add the banter in this episode is also pretty good, as well as the voice acting. Michael Kovac and Nick Landis do a pretty great job, and it's pretty neat to see how the two are basically saying their lines at the same time for both characters. The two transform into their next forms with a nice little visual of their auras clashing. We get a fast-paced teleporting battle followed by the Big Bang Kamehameha and the final Kamehameha clash, which, why is this in the middle of the animation? Isn't this two of the most powerful and impactful versions of one of the most iconic moves in fiction? So why is it just a random part in the mid-piece of the animation? And because of that, the impact doesn't feel as strong. It feels rushed, from the line delivery to the speed of the attack. The impact just isn't really there. The two break reality around them and travel to another dimension, being the Serpent Road. We also get to see the Kame House and whatever this place is called. Nice to see a lot of iconic Dragon Ball locations be in this animation. Although, to be fair, they don't really do much with them, they're just kinda backdrops. The two have another melee fight flying over the roads. Vegito chucks Gogeta away using his tail. Gogeta transforms into his final form, at least that's what I think it is. He then does the Stardust Fall. Vegito dodges and punches him again, getting them sent into another dimension. We get a cool shot of Gogeta stopping himself on the water, and then the Confetti Kamehameha, which was pretty funny. We get the meteor explosion, which looks stunning and feels very impactful, and then we just cut to the two being in the next dimension. Okay. Gogeta uses the Stardust Breaker on Vegito, despite Vegito not being evil. Why did that work? Vegito does a regular Kamehameha for some reason. Once again, the visuals look spectacular, and the voice acting is immaculate. We get one final clash, with the screaming battle to boot, Asta would be proud, and the two return to the original platform they were on, with Vegito panting and bleeding as he looks up to Gogeta, now made to stone. Okay, a few things. What happened? I know I'm not well versed on Dragon Ball, but even Dragon Ball fans I know are confused about this. From what Vegito said, or what I heard at least, that was just a regular Kamehameha, and I'm pretty sure that doesn't petrify people. Maybe it's Gogeta exhausting his power? Well, no, that would mean he would diffuse. I don't know, maybe someone in the comments can tell me. Next, why is Vegito bleeding? From where Gogeta was placed, he obviously didn't make contact, so why does Vegito have all these bruises and blood all of a sudden? I don't know, these are just some stuff that I either don't understand, or are just poorly explained. Also, this might just be a me thing, but it doesn't really look like the blood is actually touching the ground. Yeah, that's probably just a me thing. To end on a positive, non-confusing note though, I like that Vegito notices the smile on Gogeta's face and smiles back and gives a fist bump before Gogeta withers away. That was a nice small little emotional moment to end the fight. It also shows that these two were just having fun in this fight. No anger or anything towards the other. They just saw this as a fun little competition to show their real strength. That was nice. And we even get an imposing shot of Shenron staring at us to end the animation, which was cool. And the post-analysis is okay. It was unique, but you can tell they're kind of struggling to find things to say. And that's it. I wish I could say more, but I don't know, I really just can't. This episode was far from bad. I really enjoyed it. But you can tell this episode was made for Dragon Ball fans. And if you're not a huge fan of the series, like me, then you're not gonna get much out of this. Now, I have friends who love the series, who say they really enjoy this episode, and I'm very happy for them. You can tell this episode was a passion project for the crew, as they all seem to be pretty huge Dragon Ball fans. I'm not unhappy with this episode. It's just, to me, well, it didn't really feel like a finale. Nothing much sticks out. Other matchups that don't really feel like they fit in a finale made up for it by having an animation and episode be so special, unique, and have these huge moments that stick with you for a while after watching it. This one, to me at least, just doesn't. It feels like a regular episode of the show. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, it should have been longer, or whatever. We've already been spoiled enough this season. We don't want to overwork the crew who put their all into this episode and season. Don't be getting greedy now. I'm just saying that this one fails to stick out to me. But like I said, I still enjoyed it. And the track going along with this episode just ups my enjoyment by a lot. Dragon Dance is so good. Hedge of Tomorrow is still my personal favorite track of the season, but this one honestly might be my second. I don't know for sure though. There are certainly a lot of bangers. And not only is this track really great, but it also references Princess of Pride and Alive, which I was really happy to see. Now, the champion ballot results. Well, I'll talk about those in my Season 10 prediction video. All I'll say right now is that I'm very hyped for both, and that one in particular has been a long, long time coming, and I'm so happy that we're finally getting it. Anyways, that's it for this video. Like I said, go check out Capsirus' video, they'll be in the description. And while you're at it, check out my ranking of the Home Alone movies. I know it's past Christmas, but shut up, okay? Now, this is definitely my last video of the year. There's no way I'll be able to get my season ranking or predictions out by then. So, anyways, Happy New Year's, everybody. Can't wait to see where 2023 takes us. And I know I said this in my Home Alone video, but thank you all for this incredible year. I have met so many friends in this community, and the amount of support I've gotten in these past few months is something I really appreciate. Thank you guys so much. I mean it. Now anyways, like I said, I am getting started on those aforementioned videos, as well as another video that I really want to get out on a specific day. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and all that other stuff. And I'll see you guys next year.
What is this madness?
Whoa, Vegeta! Am I really that much taller than you?
I'm still growing!